Oh my God, dude. Say something. Say something that will cheer up my spirits right now. AJ's been traded to the Eagles, and if you believe the experts, UC is out 4 to 6 weeks. I know what will do the trick. The Vegas Golden Knights have been eliminated from the NHL playoffs. Oh, that feels good. Say it one more time to me. The Vegas Golden Knights have been eliminated from the NHL playoffs. Preds tie the Colorado Avalanche 4-4. And then everybody's hands go up, way up, as the Nashville Predators go into Denver, Colorado Thursday night inside Ball Arena, and they defeat the Colorado Avalanche 1-0 in the shootout, also known as the gimmick, thus winning the game 5-4. After 2 consecutive home losses in overtime, the Preds get fresh. They go out on the road, stretch their legs, and get a much-needed second point Thursday night against a team they could very well be facing in the first round, depending on how things shake out Friday night. Like I said, this is a potential first-round playoff preview, depending on what happens Friday night in Dallas's game and Nashville's game. Word came down Thursday from NHL insiders that UC Saros would be out at least 4 to 6 weeks, even though there hasn't been anything official from the team. So thank God, this means he will play again, just not as soon as all of us in Preds Nation would like him to play. So this means in the final 2 games that Dave Rittich and starting netminder for the Milwaukee Admirals, Connor Ingram, who was called up, will each start. Thursday, Rittich got Denver. Friday, Ingram will get Arizona. And then the Preds coaching staff will decide who will be the starter for Game 1. Barely 2 minutes into this one, it looks bad early as Matt Benning gets called for holding, and not even 4 seconds. Yes, you heard me if you weren't watching this. 4 seconds off of the face-off win on the ensuing power play, Roman Jossi's rival, to win the Norris. Cale Makar makes it 1-0 Denver. Preds might be wise if they end up falling into the second wildcard with this high-powered power play that the Avs have, along with what I've already talked about with the Flames. Try to cut down your time spent on a sin bin. Avs keep pouring it on because about 7 minutes into the first period, Manson takes the shot. Arturi Lankinen is in front of Rittich, causing a screen, tied up with Mark Borieski. He tips it, and it's 2-0 Avs. Just under 9 minutes left in the first period. McKinnon of the Avs looks to put it away right then. But he gets a partial breakaway, but Rittich is able to cut down, and McKinnon shoots it wide. Perhaps that was a positive spark to light a fire under this team, because just over 8 minutes left in the first period, the Preds are buzzing in the Avs zone. You've got Roman Josi pinching in, acting like a forward, trying to spark the Preds offense. And he gets it over to Mikael Granlund, who sees that there's a wide open forward acting like a defenseman at the Avs blue line. And Matt Duchene can see that there's a lane caused in a screen in front of Darcy Kemper of Nazem Kadri and Philip Forsberg screening the Avs goalie. Matt Duchene takes an innocent shot and beats Kemper, his 43rd of the season. The Preds have cut the Avs lead to 2-1. Following that, for a period that seems like, well, over a minute, maybe over 2, the Avs are coming in waves, trying to restore that 2-goal lead before Dave Rittich is finally able to cover up with just about 3 minutes left to go in the first. Right off the ensuing face-off, when the Preds thought they had escaped any danger, the puck comes to Logan O'Connor, who takes a shot on net. It deflects high, not whistled dead, as the Preds, Dave Rittich, and maybe even most of the Avs on the ice thought it was going to go high and into the netting. But one referee tracked it, and so did Logan O'Connor, because the puck comes right back to him. Rittich is not ready, and he fires it into the net, restoring the Avs 2-goal lead. They're now up 3-1. Somehow the Preds escape it being any worse than that, and much of us were just hoping for a respectable score after the first period. Avs still up 3-1. Rittich being the reason why the Preds were only down 3-1 when the Avs were out shooting the Preds 20-7. But just over 3 minutes into the second period, the Preds show the Avs and the fan base that they are going to fight and not going to give up just because they've lost UC Soros for an indefinite period of time. They do not give up the fight. Just over 3 minutes into the middle frame, Ryan Johansson from the blue line with a screen in front of Kemper just takes a shot and it gets through. The Preds are getting luck with screens in front of the Avs goalie. It's in. It's Ryan Johansson's 25th goal of the season. A very respectable campaign for him this year. And the Preds have cut the Avs lead now down to 3-2. The problem with the Preds as of late is that when they get into 2-goal or more deficits in games, they get one, but they can't sustain that pressure to get another one. They just give momentum right back to the other team that they are facing. And that's exactly what happens in this game. Not right away, but about halfway through the second period, the Avs take control, the pace and the tempo of this one and restore their 2-goal lead. JT Compher makes it 4-2 Avs. You know, Preds Nation, a little inside baseball on me and how I watch Preds games. Sometimes, most seasons before this one, I would have to find other means, friends or whatnot to watch Preds games. But this year, my parents were very nice to me, and as a Christmas/birthday present, I got to watch NHL Center Ice, which means I would never miss a Preds game. Maybe sometimes I would tolerate them, you know, because I was used to them growing up as a kid, watching them on CBC when they would play a Canadian team. But most of the time, I would get the Bally Sports feed, road or at home. Sometimes, though, I would get stuck, say, the infamous Jamie Benn shoving Philip Forsberg into the Preds bench. I got stuck watching that on the Dallas feed. There was no option to watch the Preds feed. And guess what I had to watch last night's game on? Altitude Sports Network, the home of the Colorado Avalanche. But I will tell you something. For example, the Phil Forsberg game where he was shoved into his own bench by Jamie Benn, the Preds always seem to find a way to win those games. And before we could see if that was going to be a repeat on this game with me being stuck with the Avs feed, I had to tolerate the Avs commentators constantly saying Ryan Johansson and also gushing on and on about how much better Cale Makar is than Roman Josi. And in the back of my mind, I was just hoping to the hockey gods, please let Roman Josi find a way to shut these two up. Well, maybe the hockey gods above heard me, because just under 4 minutes left in the second period, Preds down by 2. Darren Helm gets called for interference on Matt Duchene. Well, just about 20 seconds into the ensuing power play, Roman Josi, starting from his own zone, skates the puck out as his teammates wait at the blue line for position not to go offside. Roman Josi is allowed to skate right on in, beat a puck carrier. He is not challenged for some reason. He skates on in, he pushes past Nico Sturm, and then has Devin Tays to contend with. And as Devin Tays is pushing him, trying to keep control of the puck, he gets pushed by Devin Tays. The net comes off, and oh my God, what's the call? Yes, one official with the net off of its moorings calls it a goal. And then the officials confer and they say it's not a goal. The refs confer, they review it, they can see what the replay shows, and even the Avs play-by-play and color guy admit, yeah, that's a good goal. Yes, it is a goal. I just wish the officials would have been able to make up their mind a lot sooner. And now the Preds have cut the Avs lead to 4-3. Avs are content not to challenge it, and the Preds' momentum carries them on. Just under 2 minutes left to go in the second period. The Preds have a 2-on-1. It's Philip Tomasino over to Luke Conant, who tries to backhand it, but he can't beat Kemper before the second period expires. Preds seemingly in this one now, down by 1, down 4-3. Shots more even in that second period than they were in the first period. Avs barely outshooting the Preds 14-13. With each point Roman Josi gets up to this point in the game, having a goal and an assist, he now has 95 points on a season. That makes the most points by an NHL defenseman in a regular season since 1986-1987 when Raymond Bourque did it. Just over a minute into the third period, the Avs have a great chance to restore their 2-goal lead. Nazem Kadri looking to do it, but Rittich makes a big pad save, and the Preds are still in this one. Later, Laskuskin and Mikko Rantanen have a 2-on-1, and Rittich deflects it, and he loses cognizant distance of where he is at that moment and clotheslines himself into his own crossbar. Fortunately, he's okay, but he's going to have a chuckle over that because that clothesline off of his own crossbar is going to be a gift for the rest of his life. Right after that, you've got Forsberg and Duchesne on a 2-on-1, looking to tie this game. Forsberg to Duchesne. Duchesne can't control the puck as much as he'd like to, and Kemper is able to deflect it wide. Right after that, you've got Manson, who sets up Cagliano, but Rittich wants to improve himself and prove to his team that he has their back in place of number 74. Sure enough, just 4 minutes into the third period, off of a face-off win, 2 Kempers left by Mikael Granlund. He gets it back to Alexander Carrier, who quickly one-time passes it to, and don't blink or you'll miss it, Matthias Ekholm with the pass from Carrier. One-time blasts it past Kemper. The Preds have come back to tie this game at 4. Does somebody want to let the Avs staff know that Matthias Ekholm plays for the Preds? What was with the home goal horn going off after that goal? Action picks up as we reach the last half of the third period. Pressure cranked up to 10. Preds still have something to play for. Avs not so much, as it's fleeting that they'll get home ice throughout the entire NHL playoffs, just inside the Western Conference. We reach 3 minutes left to go in regulation, and look, the Avs take another crucial penalty. Darren Helm, who led to Josi's solo goal, takes a holding call on Dante Fabra, and the Preds have a crucial chance to try and win this regulation and get that second point. Philip Forsberg with the best chance on that power play, but he rings it off of the post. Avs kill off the penalty. Time expires in the third. We're tied at 4, and maybe this is a sign of things to come for the ensuing overtime period and potentially the gimmick. The Preds outshoot the Avs in the third period, 14-9. Preds win possession first in overtime. Forsberg tries to get a good setup, gets the puck stolen by Nazem Kadri, who goes the other way as the Preds defenders fall back, and the Preds prevent the Avs from winning that one early. Kadri goes crashing into the backboard behind Rittich, but he would stay in the game and he would be okay. And probably one of the scariest players offensively on the Avs, Nate McKinnon, tries to cycle in. Colton Sissons draped on his back, fortunately not taking a penalty as he tries to cycle in, but Rittich tracks it the whole way and keeps it out. Then off of the ensuing face-off in the Preds defensive zone, Forsberg keeps the puck himself, does what he does best next to scoring a goal, keeps the puck, dangles around a bunch of Avs forwards right on net, but is unable to beat Kemper on probably the Preds' best chance in that fourth period. Under a minute left to go in the fourth period, the Preds once again, Forsberg, great chance, hits his second post of the game. Clock winds down in overtime. We're still tied at 4. Preds and Avs that period had 3 shots apiece. Avs let the Preds go first. First, it's Matt Duchesne, the former Av. That's the team that drafted him. He skates down from distance before Kemper can really set himself. Snaps it, 5-hole. Preds have a 1-0 lead in the shootout. Then, first up for the Avs, it's Nate McKinnon. He skates down on Rittich, tries to shimmy, shake, go backhand on Rittich, but Rittich keeps it out. Then Forsberg is second up for the Preds. He skates down with speed, tries at the last second to get Kemper to bite. He doesn't. Preds still lead 1-0. 1-0. Second up for the Avs was Mikko Rantanen, and I think he was trying to pull the Ryan Johansson move of waiting, but he waits too long, and it actually would have been an illegal motion, so Rittich escapes having a goal scored against him there. Then the Preds' third shooter in the shootout, the gimmick, would be Mikael Granlund, who in his last 2 attempts in a shootout for the Preds was able to score. Not here. Kemper closes his 5-hole, giving the Avs one last chance. Avs' last chance is Nazem Kadri coming in on Dave Rittich, and never before, I think, have I ever been so happy to see this move. Rittich plays this move to a T. He waits for Nazem Kadri to get just close enough, and he goes for it. Rittich gets the poke check, keeps it out, turns it aside. The Preds win the shootout 1-0, win a key second point by winning the game 5-4. Cannot be undersold. Big win by this team. The second last game of the regular season, with still the possibility of not being the last team in the playoffs in the West. And this team needed some self-confidence for itself to tell itself and prove to itself that it could still win and gain some confidence going into the playoffs without their star netminder for a potentially long period of time. With this win, the Preds' magic number to clinch the first wildcard spot in the West falls to 1, and that means if things go a certain way Friday, they will be facing, for the first time in franchise history, the Calgary Flames. What this means is if the Preds win in regulation Friday night in Arizona, they've got the wild card 1 spot. If it goes to overtime and say they don't win and they lose in overtime or a shootout, they still have the wild card 1 spot because of tiebreakers against Dallas. But if they lose in regulation, the door opens for Dallas to take back the wild card 1 spot and force the Preds to face Colorado in the first round, because they would fall to wild card number 2. Personally, I don't have a preference. You're playing Russian roulette when you think about that right now, about who you'd rather play. The Preds game against Arizona will be one of the last to be played Friday night, so either stay up with me if you want, so we'll find out who will they be matched up with as a result of that game, or go to bed early, get a good night's rest, wake up Saturday in a good, cheerful mood, knowing that the Preds are back in the playoffs, so you can start thinking about the potential matchup of who they will be facing, either Calgary or Colorado. But that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Now, coming to an end, my 3rd regular season of Preds fan reaction videos. The first season that I am going to be able to do 82 games after the condensed season in year number 1, 56 games last year. Hit like if you like this video. Hit subscribe if you really like it. You can find my social media by clicking on the channel name. Tell all your friends about Redemption. I don't know who the Preds are going to be facing off against in the first round. I'm just ready for Preds playoff hockey to begin.